Hey guys, this week's episode is being brought to you by Acer. To be the best, you need the best. Enter the Predator Helios 300, a gaming laptop that takes power to an all-new level. Equipped with a 7th-gen Intel Core processor and Aeroblade 3D fan, discover the VR-ready Predator Helios 300 today. Get into the future. The VR stuff is great. Go to Acer.com, click on store, and enter coupon code THEREAD at checkout to receive 10% off, plus free ground shipping on a Predator Helios 300 laptop, including already discounted models. Offer valid through April 30th, 2018, and limited 1 per qualified order.
Hey y'all, the future is coming and you can make yours brighter today with today's sponsor, Squarespace. Turning your idea into a unique website is so easy with Squarespace. You can showcase your work, blog, or publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds. You can customize everything from look and feel to settings and products, and there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. So head to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a site or domain. That's squarespace.com, offer code READ. Let them know we sent you, and let's start the show.
I'd like to confirm my reservation on flight 505 to Orlando. Now, let's go over the arrangements I made to have my mother taken away at the departure gate.
Okay, clearly Dorothy Zbornak.
We're not going to do the seasons anymore.
Okay,
I'm going
great,
to start doing a random
have no clue what the season
trivia.
is. Okay.
So you're wrong. It was Sophia.
What?
Technically, maybe a trick one because it was Sophia pretending to be Dorothy on episode 16 of season 4, I believe. Wow. It was the episode where one of Sophia's friends had died or something, and then Dorothy was in her feelings and wanted to spend all the time with her and took her to Orlando to go Disney World, and that was getting on her nerves because Sophia just wanted to get on Space Mountain and she wanted to look at pictures and slides and shit. So.
Okay, fine.
Technically tricked you, but that's fine.
It's fine.
So the trivia question, I don't know what you would win if you get these right.
Nothing. I'm not going to win.
But I'm going to do them myself because the questions online are so easy. Like, what is Sophia's purse made out of? Like, shut up.
I'm probably not going to get the trivia.
In the episode that I just referenced.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Sophia stormed out of the hotel room after Dorothy was getting on her last nerves and went to the bar. In the bar, there was a black gentleman sitting at the piano playing music. Sophia requested to hear a song from him. What song did he sing?
I do not know.
It's a world of laughter. It's a world of cheer.
It's a small world after all?
That's the song he sang.
Oh, amen. That was a guess. Woo! Total shot in the dark. Look at God. Is it the same episode where she had to be picked up and put back on the chair, or am I thinking of a different scene with Sophia at a bar?
That's completely
I'm thinking of a different one.
That's the one where her friend wanted to kill herself.
Oh, right. The assisted suicide thing.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Golden Girls used to get so deep, man.
It did. They had like
really
a couple of like deep episodes. So great. All right. So you guys at home can help me figure out what will happen.
Nobody's going to think of, I was going to say, nobody's going to think of questions as good as you will.
No, I just want to figure out, like, if you get them right, you should, like, get something, or maybe I do something, or...
Okay, yeah. Let's have the people, let's crowdsource a reward system.
All right, so welcome back to the show, everyone. I am Phyllis Hyman.
And I am Marseille Martin. I just always want to be her.
Oh, my God. Did you see Yara's cover on... Oh, Jesus.
Oh, her Essence cover?
Yes.
Yes. I just assumed automatically it would be Black Excellence because look at her. Like, she is just... I'm so proud of her. I know the Grownish, I think the season finale is tonight. Oh, my God. And Chloe and Halle just released their album and it's so good.
It's so good.
So good. It's so good. I
They're
can't even pick a favorite. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, this is very much like the different Black girl magic music I was expecting, but then also a little bit of some trap and some hood shit in there as well.
I like them.
Yes. Yes, I do too.
On the show, I like them. They're just
their
great.
little personalities. Me and Fran saw them in New Orleans last year for Essence, and we're just like, it was actually a little embarrassing. And of course, I saw them at the VMAs a couple years ago and went up to them all drunk and like crying about how special they are. So I really love those two, and I love that Beyonce and her company spent their time with them. It wasn't like here's Chloe and Halle, and then 6 months later, here's their album. Like, those girls have grown up and been everywhere. They've been doing a lot of stuff.
On some of the songs and performances I've heard, I'd be like, they getting some of that Beyonce flavor in there. I don't know if she'd be sending them little notes and stuff like, hey, girl, like, you know, do it like this, or here's a good run for you. I don't know.
I don't know if it's Chloe or Halle, but one of them sounds so much like her. It's crazy. I just love it. I love the influence. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was at the Wearable Art Gala or what where they performed recently, and Beyonce was like right up in the front.
Looking
and she
at
was
them like, my babies.
Yes.
My radiant brown beauties.
Your
yes,
queen
I
approves.
did that. Yes.
I love it.
You are welcome.
So, Black excellence, besides the folks we've already named, first is going to go out to Naomi Wadler, who you may know as the beautiful brown 11-year-old girl who gave a speech at the March for Our Lives rally this past weekend.
Young Naomi.
I mean, just if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. I mean, it's girls like that, it's children like that give me like a sense of hope that, you know, generations after our very shitty current one, there will still be people who are walking and pushing for change in the right direction. And the fact that they have so much more like insight into what is going on than a lot of us before them have had, I just feel like they're so prepared to really kick ass. So Naomi gave this amazing speech about, you know, the disproportionate amount of representation when it comes to like Black girls in the discussion of gun violence and gun control reform and all of that. And people, I mean, she could barely get her speech done because they had to shut her up with cheers every time she spoke.
Everything she said was just
amazing.
Golden and amazing. She's so young.
11. She's in 5th grade.
They are children. Talking about, I'll be voting in 7 short years.
And meant it.
She didn't
with
swear,
passion.
but she was just like, and I'll be voting.
And I'm taking my girls with me. We're all ready to go and vote.
I love
what's up? So she's from Alexandria, Virginia. The girls are already hoping that she will become president one day.
With guns and races. She's very familiar.
Yeah. And, you know, there were other young ladies of color, Maya Middleton, Edna Chavez, that gave really amazing speeches and said dope stuff. So shout out to everybody, all of the students and young people who really went out there to like enact change and stare dummies right in the face and say, you're stupid.
It was empowering to see. I actually went down there, not like paying super close attention to where the march was. Of course, it took over like all of Midtown because there was just so many people out there. But just the sheer numbers, it did kind of make me feel like, ooh, wish this many white people cared about Black Lives Matter. But it's fine. But it's fine. But it's fine. White people, it's fine.
I mean, it's not. But
it's not. But it is. It's not.
That's just, you know, that is like the plight of Black people, especially Black women, because they march at all of those rallies and stuff too, and be super passionate and right there up there at the front and holding hands with the white girls and yes, change. And then when it is us, it's us out there by ourselves, dodging pepper spray and dogs and batons and whatever else, and then having to deal with the fact that nobody even wants to really listen to what the fuck we have to say. So in that same vein, thank you for saying that, because also on Black Excellence for me is Tiffany Dina Lofton. Tiffany is the National Director for the NAACP's Youth and College Division. She was also at the march and gave her own very passionate exchange. I'm not even sure who exactly was like interviewing her or what, but you can actually go to my Instagram page. It's just KIDFURY, and it's the last thing I posted. I mean, what a concise, just succinct
facts all over the place.
read. It was just, it was like a perfect 60-second, and she went right back to watching Andre Day or whoever the hell was up there performing. Like, it was such a great speech about this very thing.
Right.
About the fact that we have been doing this.
Of the real issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've been talking about all of this stuff, and you're not going to, like, devalue or ignore all of the things that we've been talking about and marching for. It has to be included in order for anything to happen. But
and I appreciate the Parkland kids for being like, we know that people are only paying attention because we're white and this is an affluent area. And, you know, their Black Lives matters, which is something the adults are incapable of saying. So I appreciate that of the kids, but the kids should not be the ones to save us. That's actually really fucking pathetic.
It's really sad.
Adults should be the ones backing up what these kids believe in, and the fact that they have to basically rebel against the systems that are supposed to be in place to protect and teach and raise them is just shameful, America. It just is fucking shameful.
On another note,
babies are out here protesting about anyway, sorry.
And it's so clear that if they were to take like in just like the basic, like a basic math quiz, alongside most politicians today,
it's not gonna work out.
I mean,
it's not gonna be good.
Embarrassing.
I hate you.
On another note, Virgil Abloh has been named the new menswear designer for Louis Vuitton. So shout out to him and Ghana.
Fancy.
All of the money that I guess I'm about to spend on Louis Vuitton things.
What I don't really know or do is high-end fashion. So
I just want some African prints.
Y'all just tell me a black man is in charge and I'm going to be like, cool.
Yes.
But I don't know shit past that.
I'm so excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, me too. I don't know anything about him, but
Africanized Louis duffel.
All up in the stores, all up in the rich section of the mall. Yes. Come on, some Wakanda luggage.
And yes, also last on my Black Excellence, Black Panther is now the highest grossing superhero movie of all time in the U.S., period, surpassing The Avengers in 2012, which made $623 million.
I was about to say, that's all.
Black Panther has now cleared $631 million domestically and has surpassed $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah, I'm going again this weekend.
I mean, why not? I think I'm going to.
It's fun, first of all.
It's just good.
It's fun to go. Like it. And the fact that it just means we're going to keep breaking more records, I'm like, absolutely. I'm not shocked. I knew this was going to happen. It's so good.
I knew it.
Ryan Coogler did that.
It's just really
good.
He
really fucking did that. That movie is so good.
I'm interested to see what Infinity War is going to do because it's already like doing great in terms of like pre-sales and stuff. It's like the next Avengers movie, but a good chunk of it is also in Wakanda and has Black Panther and Shuri and all that stuff. So I know a lot of people may go just because they just saw Black Panther and that was the other one, right? I mean, I don't know how you're gonna.
I mean, is Shuri in it?
Yeah, okay. But I mean, not for nearly as much as she was in Black Panther.
Right, no, of course
it's gonna
not.
be this whole thing.
While the white people are on the screen, I guess I will just be paying as little attention as possible, maybe to keep up with the storyline. I don't care. Was it Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman are all going to be there? Okay.
All you need to know is that some bald-headed
Captain America.
Yes, that one. Who I'm almost certain is going to die in this one, but. Alien nigga coming looking for some stones to put in a glove and beat everybody's ass because he's just bitter.
Okay. What's the alien? Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Thor, and Iron Man, and Luke Cage, and Black Widow.
Thanks, Google. All right. So
you didn't have to call me out like that.
This week on Hot Tops, Ready Bottom 1.
Oh my God. Speaking of, Lena Waithe is in that movie.
She is.
And her cover with Variety came out.
Yes.
And the cover image alone had me fucking shook.
I saw your emotional tweet.
First of all, I just really appreciate a black woman, like, not Kardashian makeup, no weave or wigs and all that. Just being herself and being just naturally fine on the cover. But then the photo shoot itself fucked me up.
Yeah.
The pictures with her and her fiance, like, on the couch cuddling and stuff, I was like, oh, so there are people who like trust each other. What is this? Like you are open
is
with
like a real thing that can happen.
Like this is you really experience that emotion with her. What is this?
Oh my God, you're both black.
It was just so much. Oh God. Oh, it's so real. It is so real to just be like, wow. So two black gay women just like, whatever.
And she's always like posting little cute things about her, and like, you know, if she's on like promo, she'll be like talking about how much she misses her and stuff. It's like,
oh, this is so cute.
God, I wish we had one.
You're in love.
The niggas, I mean. Oof. We'd be bored after 3 Instagram posts.
I have such a huge crush on her, but that photo shoot was just, first of all, so major. And then just kind of made me want to dial back my like outright thirst for her. Because I respect people who have like a genuine connection. And I can see that.
Right.
And I would be fooling myself to think that I could come in and disrupt that.
Right.
So I'm just...
It's love. It's not love and hip hop.
Right. It's not love and asktheread@gmail.com.
Exactly.
Right. It's real. So, but I loved it. I just really loved seeing a black queer woman represented like that. So go Lena Waithe forever and ever, always.
And the work ethic is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The bag is secure.
Yeah, it is. The rate's going up.
All right. So, first things first, I'm going to pass it over to a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Blue Ivy.
My fave?
Yeah,
what's up with my girl?
So, Tiffany Haddish.
She's on thin ice with the Hive.
No, listen, I don't know. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this GQ thing, this interview recently that just came out, happened prior to Top Off.
Right.
And happened prior to, you know, they interview the girls months in advance.
This was probably 2 or 3 months ago at least.
Right. So in a recent interview, Tiffany Haddish once again spoke about her time meeting Beyonce and how some actress at this party was doing the quote mostest.
That is how she talks.
And she said she bit Beyonce in the face. Beyonce stormed away, went up to Jay-Z. She said that Beyonce was like, Jay, come here, this bitch.
Mood.
At some point, she went over to Jay-Z, according to Tiffany, and told him that some random acting heifer bit her in the face. And then Tiffany offered to go and beat the actress up. But then Beyonce suggested not to make a scene and that the girl was just high. I don't know. It was very...
The bitch don't usually act like that, Tiffany. The bitch is on drugs.
Right. That sounds like how it probably sounded.
That took me clear down deep into my soul. It really, the thought of Beyonce being like, girl, don't even trip.
She's not even drunk.
The bitch is
She's
just
on
high,
drugs.
girl.
She's not like that all the time.
I have met this bitch millions of times. She usually not like this. I love that.
So she done sent the whole internet into a frenzy trying to figure out what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah.
Who the fuck bit Beyonce?
Hashtag who bit Beyonce. It's really a hashtag.
It's still happening.
It's all over all these different websites. Like, everybody is talking. It's like a legit news story at this point.
Donald Glover included it in a script that he leaked for the Deadpool animated series that they're not doing with FX anymore.
I saw that. I was like, yeah. Like, Beyonce is really the celebrity. These niggas never, ever comment on anything that has anything to do with other celebrities until it's Beyonce. And then everybody from Chrissy Teigen on down is just like, bitch, who did it? I want names, I want photos, and I want proof. Like, everybody cares. Everybody is invested. To the point where niggas are getting on Twitter to be like, it wasn't me.
Like, Sanaa Lathan had to be like, no, I didn't do it.
Lena Dunham said, even though it sounds like something I would do.
It
does, girl. You're right. Way to be self-aware. It does sound like something you or Amy Schumer or Jennifer Lawrence. It sounds like something one of you hoes would do. It really does.
I also heard Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know if she decided to confirm or deny.
I don't think it was Gwyneth Paltrow. Just because they've been friends for years.
But they're not friends anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, that's what I heard.
I didn't know they fell out.
I heard that they stopped being friends at some point. Because, you know, they were I think they were friends through Chris Martin.
Oh, well.
And Chris Martin and Homegirl are not together anymore, I don't think.
They consciously uncoupled. That's what she called it on her bougie white woman website.
That's right.
A conscious uncoupling. White people, girl, you got a divorce.
I just don't fuck with him. That's enough. So, I mean, here's the thing. What are we supposed to do with this?
Obsess over who it might be, because we already know Beyonce's people are not going to have a comment. They're not going to talk about it.
It didn't happen.
They're not going to say who did it.
And she already screamed Tiffany on top of.
Right, and I feel like when the song came out, Beyonce, I feel like Tiffany was like, okay, well, just to be fully honest with you, I did 3 other interviews where some details are going to come out. I'm so sorry, Beyonce.
Throughout the year, it might happen.
Because if you notice, Tiffany has not responded to this publicly in a way that she probably would have before that song come out. She has just been very much like, y'all gonna say, she knew this was coming. She knew she said it in the interview. So I'm sure she was just waiting on the day that everything came out so that she could be prepared to ignore y'all driving her crazy with wanting to know who did it.
Well, here's what she said on Instagram. Okay. She had GQ.
No.
Side note with like 8 million B emojis. She said, y'all forgot I am in the hive too. And just know this, I will always speak my truth. That's not going to stop. The queen bee kept me from doing something half of you bees would have done no matter what.
You're right.
That's kind of true. To me, she is a shero and a great person. I have learned so much from her in just a short amount of time. So no matter what, she has a unicorn that has her back.
I love that.
Someone else asked, someone tweeted Media Takeout as saying it was Taraji, and she said no, it wasn't.
Taraji?
Why the fuck would Taraji?
Okay, it's not Taraji.
Like, who?
The rest of these girls, maybe.
Chrissy,
but not Taraji.
Chrissy Teigen, of course, jumped in and said, I cannot leave this planet without knowing who bit Beyonce in the face. I can only think of one person who would do this, but I cannot say. But she is the worst. Deep down, you know. Then later she said... I
feel like that's Jennifer Lawrence.
I feel like she was talking about Lena Dunham, and then Lena Dunham said it wasn't her.
The Lena, Amy, Jennifer thing, they're like one white woman to me. The 3 of them. They're just that white girl.
Then Chrissy Teigen came and said, my initial guess was wrong. The real person I never would have guessed. I've said too much. I'm never telling. I'm scared. I've said too much. Knowledge is a curse. You know how much shit I have said and done to famous people. I had to verify with John it wasn't me.
So that makes me wonder if it's not like somebody like Rashida Jones or something crazy. Somebody that nobody would ever think.
That normally isn't like that. Right. But they're on drugs.
Who just secretly has a coke problem. And so Beyonce was like, don't be her ass. I just saw her do a line. It's fine. Maybe. I don't know.
There's so many actresses.
Yeah, there's so many. And she could have just said actress as a code word for famous woman. It doesn't even necessarily have to be an actress.
That's true.
So I don't think there's any way of knowing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and like go crazy trying to figure out who it was who did this when I'm never going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And Beyonce's not going to say anything. And Tiffany Haddish at this point knows not to say shit else, I would hope.
And whoever did it is definitely not going to say nothing.
I know she got a voicemail from an anonymous. The phone said, no caller ID. And there was Blue's voice that said, sweetie, you know, I've heard great things about you. I heard that Girls Trip was great.
Good times.
I wasn't allowed to watch it. My mama said no. And, you know, Rumi taught her how Amazon Prime and all that other stuff work. Like, you've been here a couple months and you're like, we're already came out your damn business. So I just have not seen the film. Heard good things about it. Congratulations on your unicorn foolishness. But sweetheart,
I'm gonna have to chill.
I have been making these dollars long before you and your girls took a trip. And I'm here to let you know that this is going to be the last time that you discuss anything going on in the dynasty. All right? Don't let me have to let the goons out on you, the Paw Patrol out on you, get hands put on you.
Not my nigga Chase.
Don't do it. I don't know if you're trying to like spin this off into some other show. the T with Tiffany, or I put the T in T. I don't know what it is that you're trying to do. You don't say anything else. We graciously allowed you to touch the hem of our garments. Don't let us take it back.
I like that Blue Ivy does not introduce herself on voicemail. She just knows that you will know who she is.
Hey, girl. So
as soon as you hear her voice.
Here's the issue. Duh.
Yeah, I think Tiffany, has been caught up in the I'm experiencing a lot of fame, and I'm seeing a lot of crazy shit with people whose faces and names I know. And so she's acted probably like how most of us would act if you saw something crazy like a bitch biting Beyonce. She's running her mouth about it. But celebrities really don't do that. They witness other celebrities doing insanity all the time.
It would be such a daily struggle for me to not do that too. Not just because, like, I definitely would have never said anything about somebody coming up to and flirting with Jay-Z. But somebody biting my queen in the face, I would have been dying.
I would have been like, I'll beat her ass for you.
Do you know the gall? Like, there is a person alive who actually had the nerve to place both their upper and lower jaw on this Beyonce's whole face.
Oh, it just doesn't make sense. Who would do something like that?
I try to think of, like, any actresses that may have died mysteriously in the past couple of weeks or whatever, like, or just went missing. But
whoever
no one that I can think that would be so close to Beyonce or that just does drugs.
It's just ridiculous. Like, you took your regular pedestrian plebeian ass jaws and really put your teeth on Beyonce's face. Like, I'm having such a hard time grasping why you would do something like that. It has to be a drug that takes you out of your mind to where you're performing in a realm that just doesn't make sense anymore. Because there's no other reason to do that. But I feel like whoever it is has to be just so scared right now that the rest of us are going to find out. Because it's not going to be good for you if the rest of us... I know Chrissy Teigen knows because, her husband is John Legend, so they can get the real answers to these things. But if the rest of us find out, girl...
Actually, I know one of y'all knows the answer. I don't, I have no reason to tell anybody.
I mean, ask theread@gmail.com if you know for a fact.
I have no reason to tell anyone. I don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want any Parkwood smoke. But what I do want to know is who movie I'm not going to see no more.
Right.
I just want to know.
I just need to know whose show I'm not watching, whose Netflix shit I'm not clicking on, whose movies I'm not going to, whose music I'm not downloading. I just need to know who it was who felt like she could put her nasty regular person teeth on Beyonce's face. I just don't get that. It still doesn't make sense. When I first read the story, I was like, this has to, what? You put your mouth on Beyonce? No. The answer is no. It's just a no. So,
I mean, I'm sure even Sir and Rumi get their breast milk like filtered and, they have added vitamins or something. They don't just put teeth to tit. I mean, my God.
I mean, they don't have teeth yet.
I'm just kidding.
Well, hell, how old are them kids?
They might have maybe just
shit,
one
we
or
ain't
two
seen
butts or two. I don't know.
They might have
nothing about these children.
We don't know.
Nothing.
We don't know what stage of development Beyonce's kids are at because she will not let us.
They probably go running track with Olympia.
Oh God, Olympia is so cute.
Isn't she a nugget?
She's adorable. And the fact that Serena's like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't care about anything but this baby. Like, when she goes to sleep, I cry because I want her to wake up again.
I just want her to be awake and play with me. It's so cute.
You are so
She's such a girl.
She stands for her baby. She really does. And it is so cute because Olympia just be sitting there with that little smile like, what's up?
Like, hey.
Like, hey, girl.
I'm here.
What's up?
What's popping?
And Serena's like, I cried.
Yes.
For 90 minutes because you were asleep.
Because you had a nap.
They are so adorable.
I love it. All right. Bad news, guys. Amber Rose and 21 Savage are officially over.
Okay.
She went on Big Boy's Neighborhood. And you remember, some weeks ago, not so long ago, they're on the Unfollowed episode. They were saying that Amber Rose and 21 Savage broke up because they had unfollowed each other.
Pictures.
But then she said that they hadn't broken up and that she unfollowed him by accident or whatever. But 21 Savage never followed her back. So it was like very clearly like something happened
Going
with
on,
y'all.
right.
And I never understood why she even, like, you don't even have to explain yourself. You could just unfollow the nigga and then go right back to posting, you know, about, you know, push-up bras and, you know, why it's okay to suck a dick or whatever the fuck it is that Amber
Sebastian's
Rose
word of the day.
surpassed. That's what I really want to see. Sebastian needs a PBS special.
Sebastian needs a line of flashcards.
What
I
a
love
gem.
it, right?
He's just so
What
great.
a little mini genius he is.
She went on Big Boy's Neighborhood and said that she loves him and misses him. She thinks about him every day. But to say that I'm single, I can't say that I'm single because in my heart I still love him. And it was this whole woe is me thing about like, I just hopefully we'll get back together and like work it out when you're famous and you're a couple and you have teams and people say all kinds of things and you argue about things normal couples don't argue about. And I'm sure all of this is true, but I just kept looking in this interview. I'm looking at this very beautiful woman that could have any penis, any vagina, anything from any one of these niggas.
Right.
And you are talking to me about loving and missing 21 Savage. 21 Savage, who was introduced to vegetables through you.
Right. Like, what are you doing? I feel like Amber Rose is too old for this. I just feel like she's too old for this. You too old to be like, I can't say I'm single because in my heart, it will go on and it still belongs to young 21. Like, you just sound so dumb talking like that because first of all, you're single if you're not in a relationship or married. You just are single.
I mean, that's literally how it works.
You might want to say, okay, I don't want to say it or I don't want to talk about it, which is well within your rights to do, but it doesn't make you any less of being that way, regardless if you love him or not. Like
when you're filling out paperwork, there's no box that says, well,
single.
my heart is still with that other nigga, so I'm just in a confusing place.
There is no who is your heart with box.
Right.
So we don't, do you just sound like...
childish, like young.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean to
21.
You know, those are your feelings and they are valid feelings, Amber, and you're allowed to feel them. I just would like to remind you that you are, like, you, look at you.
Lord.
How old is she?
She's
hold on.
34 and 21 Savage is
like
25.
maybe now. Is he?
Mm-hmm.
He's
not 21, yeah. He was born in 92, though, which grosses me right on
21
out.
anymore, but like...
God.
I would have guessed 23, maybe.
No, he's 25. So.
Still, you know, young and dumb and, you know, blasting out cum. Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that was disgusting. Thank you so much for that visual.
I mean, she's the one talking about sniffing his sweaty draws.
His balls and
liking
pubic
his
hair.
Nut sex scent.
I just wish I could have a cologne made of the scent of the sweat that collects in his pubic region. Like, well, wait a minute, bitch.
Okay. Okay, girl.
The rest of us did not need to know that.
You know what, Amber? Your heart will go on. And
I'm going to be fine.
I would really like to see Amber, you know, go full lesbian on this next go round.
Like a Mimi thing? Like get her a WNBA player and just flourish? Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I can see that.
Straps. You know, I want full stud
Staying
love
strapped. Yes.
for Amber. And, you know, try that out. I mean, Amber knows.
Right. She's decked around before.
Not a stranger to that. But, yeah, you know, have one of these studs, you know, mend your heart and your fences. And leave these little... very strange looking rap niggas to the wayside. And like I can't I don't want to be like insensitive, but at the same time I'm just kind of like, girl, you're Amber Rose, like, bitch.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to act like you don't have to settle for these raggedy ass like bargain basement men. You don't have to do this. You could just flourish on your own without the extra, but you just refuse. So
bitch, if I was Amber Rose, my God.
Okay. It's just not a nigga. I just don't feel like it's a nigga in this world that could press me or have me feel impressed over anything. Even if I was Amber Rose.
Even if my little feelings were hurt, you are
I'm never going to say that out loud on the fucking radio.
of this.
I'm never doing that.
Going anywhere talking about, I don't feel single because my heart belongs to you. Meanwhile, 21 Savage is having mosh pit sex, like at Rolling Loud or whatever.
Right, he's not out here talking about how much he miss and love you and his heart still belong to you and all this bullshit. I'm over that whole narrative. So.
He is surfing down the hills of Zephyr because you introduced him to water.
Right, you the one who took him in and turned him into something probably worth fucking, and now look at him. He feel like he can do it without you. He's got a meal plan down, and he understands what water is, vitamins and all that.
Cardi B has announced that her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, will be released next week on April the 6th.
Amen.
The album cover is on her Instagram page. I mean, I like it, I guess.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's a cute cover. So yeah, just about a week.
Good for her.
Left for this Cardi B album. I'm interested to see how this is going to sound because I'm not a fan of a full body of Cardi B work yet. Mm-hmm. I can't say that there is a...
Didn't like gangsta bitch music.
I was thoroughly entertained by the name of the mixtape. But no.
Okay, that's fine.
No. And is that the one with the Plies remix, Plies cover?
Whoa. I don't recall that.
Ran off on a bitch twice.
Oh.
That's a Plies song.
I don't think that's on the mixtape though.
Okay. Well,
yeah, no.
I liked that song. But more recently, as of the Bodak Yellow era, I've been surprised more and more about whoever is helping Cardi B with these records. So, you know, I'm interested to see if this is going to be like a thing where I'm like, oh, wow, I really like this whole thing. I'm interested to see the features. Mm-hmm. And hear the beats. I already know
it's going to be at least one Offset or Migos in there. I already know that.
I figured he'd be at least on maybe 5.
I'm going to need him to not be on all of her songs. Like, some of us were fans just before you found a man.
Or none.
Or none. That would be preferable. But I know she just signed with their management company, too. So
yeah, I was going to bring that up, too.
It's just not. We're never going to get rid of that.
Isn't that like connection. A conflict of interest?
I don't think it matters outside of a legal sense.
I mean, I know that there's not like... I'm sure there are like several people managing all of the artists underneath quality control, but it just... Anyway, they said she's due in July.
I mean, it's a way to keep all the money in one spot right where it is, so...
I suppose.
That, I am constantly wishing for the best for Cardi B. I feel like she has kind of gotten herself into some, I don't know, maybe precarious situations. So, you know, a little bit of sticky circumstances going on here with Cardi B in some ways. But I do still very much want her to win. I'm hoping the album is good because, I mean, now is the perfect time to release a lot of thought anthems. It's about to start warming up in the city, like the rest of the country, finally. So, you know, if she can put out something that's going to carry us through the summer, then, you know, she's poised to do it at the exact right time. So I hope whatever she does release is excellent.
I don't really care anymore. Okay. You know, I think I do wish her the best. I'm just not invested. Right. I hope that she does well and makes great decisions and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm interested to hear the album. Hopefully I'll like at least most of it. Mm-hmm. And even if I don't like it, I'm certain that it will not be any worse than most rap albums today.
Right, that's true. It's not going to be the worst album I've ever heard. I'm sure of that.
So yeah, good luck to her and all that she's planning on putting out.
Cardi.
Next week, and I am certain that this will mark the beginning of the female rap I'm releasing all of the stuff surge.
Amen.
Because the girls are going to come right about. I know, I can feel in me bones that Nicki Minaj is just on the cusp.
Young Nick has been quiet lately. Where is she at?
I honestly feel like that young lady is on vacation.
Well, good for her.
I do. I think that she knows that she's about to go full album, press, market, tour, blah, blah, blah. And she is somewhere getting some head until she decides that she's going to drop her album.
Man, Nicki.
Because there's just so much promotion and anticipation. Not even saying anything, being quiet. And as long as you drop a banger first... Mm-hmm. And I know she's going to
and
be
lead
like,
single is what matters.
I gave y'all bitches all of this time and you still ain't do blah, blah, blah. I'm ready to hear it.
Oh, you bitches accept Cardi. It would be interesting if she had Cardi on her album.
No. Oh, no.
It would be interesting if Cardi
hate
had
each
her
other.
on her. They hate each other?
They don't like each other.
Damn. Does it have to be like that?
It's so obvious, though. It's like it was very cute in the beginning that they were like trying to like each other. And I don't know what happened along the way or who ruined it. I'm sure niggas had all of their mouth in both of their ears. But it's so clear to me that they are not fond of one another.
Well, that's disappointing to hear. But, you know, there can be more than one. So I just hope we all remember that once the music starts coming out.
I hope that little Bow Wow remembers that too.
Oh no! See, there's no space for her.
Did I ever put Bow Wow on the Sick and Shut In?
I believe you did.
Okay,
because it just has gotten worse and worse with Bow Wow.
Okay, well, if I didn't before, I'm definitely doing it now because he was talking about suicide or wishing he wasn't alive or something on Instagram.
God, what?
And Bow Wow loves attention, but I don't play with that kind of thing.
Right.
So
no, I don't play around about that. There are a lot of jokes thrown Bow Wow's way.
I mean, it's really easy, but
I mean, nobody wants him to kill himself. Jesus.
I certainly don't want for the boy to die.
Oh, God.
But I mean, here he had like a whole rant on Twitter. I don't know if this was today or yesterday. It was sometime this week. And he was going on about how the media hates him. He's bored with life. Tired of niggas talking shit, always with my name in their mouth. Everybody hates me. I don't give a fuck. And a lot of this was like response to people. Because like this person says, I'm still trying to figure out why people dislike you. Still a fan. Everybody hate me. I don't give a fuck no more.
Damn.
Stay up, brother. We still appreciate you and can't wait for your album. No, y'all don't.
Well, now listen. Don't get to lying.
I mean, he needs...
but nobody's waiting for Bow Wow's album. You can be supportive without lying.
Why are you so damn depressed? It's anger. It's what y'all turned me into. The media, the bloggers, the people. This is what y'all wanted. I was the red and blue Spider-Man. Now I'm the all-black Spider-Man.
I don't get that. What does that mean?
Not much.
Is there like a poisonous thing Spider-Man eats and he turns black?
You know what? Not far off. It has something to do with the symbiote, I believe, which is like an alien thing. Venom, whatever. Like
you lost me.
Dark Spider-Man.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's not like a Black Panther version of Spider-Man. That was my other guess.
It's like a Spider-Man that was just introduced to like a really hard drug and then goes off on a terrible journey. But some comic book person will correct me.
I mean, all right, Bow Wow.
I mean, that's where for me I had to stop reading. But here's the thing. Shadra. You have placed yourself in so many positions that we cannot help but poke fun at. And
because they're funny.
They're funny.
When you take pictures off of Google Images, that's funny.
Like,
it's a funny thing to do.
The people around Bow Wow in his personal life, I'm assuming, y'all need to help this young man find someone to speak to. Not y'all. Like a licensed therapist. We have a Talkspace code. He can do that. I think he needs to sit down with preferably a black woman, maybe with some mammy titties like Iyanla, and just get all of this out. Cry, whatever. Like, he was famous when he was like 2.5 on tour with Bow Wow crip walking. And I think that he has been trying to like keep up with that lifestyle and whatever. Right. And that really takes like a psychological toll on a lot of celebrities, especially when they're so famous, so young.
Right.
If it is
because a lot of people don't make that transition from child star to adult star, especially black celebrities.
Right.
So Raven-Symoné is the only one who first comes to mind.
I mean, I think that Raven kind of had like consistent amount of fame and work throughout.
I mean, that Disney thing is huge. Like having that Disney connection is very, very fucking major.
But Raven was acting when she was like 2 years old, 4, 5, rap videos. 6. Like she never really stopped working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She has always done it, but it's just like once kids go through puberty.
Yeah, you change.
The industry has a tendency to be like, okay, we don't know what to do with you no more because you were adorable and short, and now you're like an adult.
Like, the thing that was so great about Bow Wow was that he was this little boy rapping.
That everybody thought was Snoop's nephew. Everybody thought that.
Because Snoop called everybody
Snoop called him nephew, right? But like, black people, we should have known.
We didn't know that. That's like a local thing.
But we always call somebody uncle, auntie, nephew, niece that ain't really that to us. I got a whole bunch of fake aunties and uncles, a whole bunch that I would never call anything but auntie or uncle.
That's true, too.
So we just kind of accepted it like, oh, of course they are.
So, yeah. I mean, pray for this young man. Nobody wants to see you, like, kill yourself or whatever. I mean, we're going to laugh at you when you do goofy stuff. The same way that you laugh at other celebrities when they do goofy stuff. I mean,
right. Most of the laughs, Bow Wow, most of them have been earned. Like, sometimes you just have to be real with yourself. Like, okay, people are mean. Did I do something goofy? The answer is yes. You've done a lot of goofy things. Not saying you deserve to be, like, bullied into feeling really bad about yourself or should ever be, feeling like suicide is the answer or anything like that. I certainly don't want anything like that for you. But, like, you've done some goofy things that niggas are gonna laugh at. Things aren't the same as they were in 2003 or whatever when you were first popping. And it's fine. Like, you just kind of have to learn and grow and adjust the situation. Again, a licensed, qualified therapist can help so much with things like this. Like, it's not a joke.
I'm not joking at all.
Right, no. Therapy will change your life. It really, really can. So I recommend that, and I hope that Shad is feeling better very soon, because I would hate to hear of him hurting himself.
And once again, this is assuming that he's not already in therapy and is one of these motherfuckers that are just, like, sitting down.
I feel like if you're in therapy, you're not going on Twitter rants like this.
I mean, some people go to therapy and come right back out like, that bitch don't know nothing. Right, that hoe's stupid as fuck. Think about your feelings. Your relationship with your father affected you.
Fuck that.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
What father?
I don't know anything about Bow Wow, but if he is not sitting and speaking with, like, a professional therapist, hell, maybe even a full-on psychiatrist, I don't know what you need. I got one.
Right.
So,
I mean, whatever it is you need, like, they're just important. Yeah. They're important, and they can really help you work through your shit in a healthy way. Because a lot of us just deal in the worst ways.
Did you watch the Roseanne reboot?
I did not, because I just could not bring myself to do it.
Why was that?
Because first of all, Roseanne Barr, the comedian herself, has really flown off the rails. She has just completely dived into the deep end over the past few years.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, it's definitely not just you. She's definitely been... Ever since Hillary Clinton lost the Democratic nomination to Barack Obama, I remember this very clearly because Roseanne Barr wrote a whole opinion piece talking about how Barack Obama needed to bow to the woman who had been putting in years and years of community. Oh, I remember it vividly because I was like, who is this white bitch talking about a black man need to bow down to another white woman? Fuck that. And so from that day on, I was looking at her crazy. She wrote a whole piece about how Barack Obama needed to bow down to Hillary Clinton and let Hillary, have this moment or whatever. That's clearly not what happened. And I think ever since then, she has been pissed and has kind of gone off into a whole nother, into the MAGA direction instead, like her true feelings of just white nationalism and other bullshit. So knowing that they were Trump supporters on the show, first of all, made sense because they were poor white trash when it first aired. So those people are Trump supporters. Right. It makes sense. But I don't need that kind of bullshit in my entertainment when I already get it in my news.
Thanks.
I just don't need to hear the stories of Trump supporters. I don't need to know what their lives are like. I don't need to know what their struggles are. I don't care about their economic anxiety or whatever other bullshit they have. I just do not care because the man is a stone cold fucking racist and there's no two ways about it. And if you support him, then you are either also racist or you don't have a problem with his racism. It's one of those two things. And so I just cannot be bothered. So I just chose to not watch it.
That's literally, you just said exactly everything.
But I heard it was good.
I mean, aside from the Barack Obama Hillary Clinton.
Oh, God. I'm about to Google it and see which outlet published it because it was so fucking crazy.
But I didn't even know anything about Trump until, many episodes ago. I don't remember when it was. He had a show, and I remember coming on here and saying that I woke up in the middle of the night in the hotel, and Roseanne, a marathon was on, and how much I loved the theme song. And I thought Roseanne was so funny and gave it the points. And much like this happens every time I mention a white person I like, the very next day somebody is like, oh,
Lord.
Here's how they're terrible. So the very next day, someone was like, oh, here are all of the times that Roseanne Barr has said that they support Trump. And I'm like, what?
She said something about a Nazi salute today on Twitter and then deleted it like niggas didn't already take a screenshot. Like, she's out of it. But I just found the essay I was talking about. It was published by the Huffington Post on March 7th, 2008. And it opens with Barack Obama bow to the woman and take the vice presidency. Let our country heal, I guess, from the other Bush. You will run in 8 years and be unstoppable as a visionary world leader. You must pass through this filter first, though. Bow to the woman. And then it just goes on and on with her white woman bullshit.
Well, yeah, I actually heard like mixed things about it, but I heard mostly good things about the reboot.
I know there's a black grandbaby in there somewhere.
I saw that in the trailer, which, furrowed my brows, but...
DJ's child or something. Although she didn't look biracial, so that made me wonder, is she adopted?
I'm assuming one of them adopted her.
I don't even want to know, because the thought of a black child being raised in a Trump household is too much for me to handle. And I know they're out there. I do. I know it's a lot of y'all out here black with white family members and have to deal with that bullshit. And it's just too much. It's too much. I don't have to deal with Trump family members, thank God. They might be a little conservative. Like my uncle just today on Facebook posted a picture of like black men in Harlem in 1940s, back when men wasn't afraid to dress like men. And I was like, oh, God, here we fucking go. But at least this nigga is not voting for Trump.
Right.
Like, I just feel like there's some things I can handle and some I can't. And that's just too much. The thought of a black child having to deal with that bullshit. So,
says here on Washington Examiner, Donald Trump Jr. congratulates Roseanne Barr for high ratings.
Oh, see.
Like they live.
No.
I can't. I'm sorry. Roseanne was funny when it first came out, but everybody already knows how I feel about reboots. Mm-hmm. So it's not even like I'm just like, and I was never such a Roseanne fan that I'm just like dying to, I don't need it.
I really was, though. I really loved it. And even now, if I catch a marathon of the old episodes, I do still sit down and watch it guiltily, but I do because I really loved that show. I really did. So it sucks, but I mean, I've been watching The Office, honestly, because of your black ass.
So good.
I got through the first season very quickly. The first season only like 6 episodes or something. But Diversity Day is maybe episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's very soon.
That fucked me up.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites, too.
That fucked me up. I said, wow, straight out the gate, John.
Yeah.
That white woman with the Jamaican sign on her face.
Angela. That's my avatar.
Her face, when Mindy Kaling slaps the shit out of, what's the boss's name?
Michael.
When she slaps the shit out of Michael for that Indian impression shit.
Oh my gosh.
The look on that white girl's face as they're watching Mindy walk away is just like, are you fucking kidding?
Right.
I love the show. I do. For everybody who was like, if you like Parks and Rec, there's no chance you won't like this. You were right. It is so funny. Michael is the worst boss.
He's so, like, how has he not
I
been
would
fired?
have wanted to quit so many times. It's one of those jobs where your boss is such a fucking idiot that you stay because you would never get away with like being as lazy as you are somewhere else.
Exactly.
But he's such a fucking idiot that you have to deal with his shit. Dwight is hilarious. There's always that one ass kisser, ball sucker in the office who like just
and
that whole
gets on everybody else's nerves.
Nobody else likes him. I love that Pam and Jim have this cute little, it's obviously like an attraction between the two of them. I haven't gotten to the point where I don't know if they act on it yet or not. I'm only a few
gets
episodes.
on my nerves. I mean, it got on my nerves for like a good portion of the series that I was watching because like I won't say anything. It lasted longer than it needed to.
I liked it because it was two sane people bonding together over the ridiculousness of
and playing pranks on people and all of that fun stuff.
And then there's Stanley.
It was me.
Stanley is so funny. There was a part where he was, Michael was doing performance evaluations.
Thank you.
I don't remember if he said something to Stanley like, congratulations on making out the ghetto or something. It must have been so hard coming from where you come from. He said something ridiculous like that. And Stanley played along with it. And then in his interview, he was like, look, it's bonus time. I gotta get my fucking money. Like, if that means I'm gonna play into his little dumb bullshit stereotypes, then I'm gonna do it. And I was like, has there ever been a realer black man on TV? Has there ever? It is really funny, but it's one of those shows that you can't multitask and watch because so much of it is in the facial expressions and all that. Like, you really have to be totally focused on the TV when you watch it, but it is really good.
I loved.
So I'll be watching more of that.
In the episode where they were trying to, like, get health care or something, and Dwight was trying to, like...
Oh, God, Dwight cut everybody's insurance,
And they all fucked around with him about, like, fake diseases that they had.
And he was like, you have to write down what disease you have.
He came out the fucking conference room when he realized that the shit was fake. And he was like, leprosy? Hot dog fingers. In that scene when Stanley was laughing, it's like one of the few times where you see Stanley laughing, and he was dying.
When Michael went to the liquor store and bought like 26 bottles of vodka for the holiday party, like, is that enough? Like, nigga, what?
Like those big cheap bottles.
They were huge, right?
That are in, like, plastic.
McCormick's and shit. Like, you could have bought 3 of those and everybody would have been fucked up. The fact that you bought like a couple cases.
That show was so funny.
It is funny. It is funny. So I'll be watching that on demand instead of Roseanne, unfortunately.
A reboot I did watch, though, was The Queen's Court with T.S. Madison.
Go off, T.S. Madison.
Look, package it up. Hit the girls, let them know what time it is. You've got the numbers, you've got the history. Mm-hmm. Everything is already there. You've got a connection with Star on Fox. Madison does. You've got a connection with World of Wonder. Tiffany's got VH1. Start pitching to the girls because I will watch it. I was crying.
Right. I only saw a little bit of her with Tiffany Pollard, but that is just like a match made in heaven.
Yes.
Tiffany is... not like the girls you had on the first episode of the reboot. No shade to them in particular, but people who are like maybe trying to keep up a certain face or not wanting to piss people off or whatever are not the best for a comedy show where you're talking about like
people.
Right. It's just like, okay, don't want to hurt nobody feeling as a bitch. Like, that's fine. But like the rest of us are here to talk some shit. And Tiffany Pollard is perfect for that. She's the queen of the internet. She's queen of memes. Just reality TV royalty. There's no better idea.
And their dynamic was so great.
And I love that it's called the Supreme Queen's Court.
Right.
Like, not that little Fifth Circuit district bullshit I was doing before. I like that.
So congratulations to them. I hope that shit gets picked up because I was crying.
Yeah.
I was going to read Killer Mike, but...
oh, sis.
I'm just gonna...
Killer Mike, man.
I know that he should know better. I know that Killer Mike is not dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, a lot of the things that Killer Mike has said, I've been so passionately in agreement with.
Right. And even when he was thumping for Bernie Sanders, it wasn't totally trash. A lot of it was like, what? But even then, it was like, but doing anything with the NRA. Anything at all with the NRA.
And here's the thing, like, I've appreciated those of us who have been like, I've appreciated the sentiment, I will say, that, you know, we have to have somebody who's going to, like, talk to these people and explain to them why they're wrong and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that. Mm-hmm. But the issue is that they constantly look for us to place us in a position that they can use to exploit and have us looking like the niggas that agree with dumb white shit. Right. Which is why the person who was interviewing Killer Mike on NRA TV, which apparently a thing.
Yeah, that's the YouTube channel.
The person who was interviewing him was full nigga. Like,
yeah.
They're going off talking about why, you know, they should march for this and blah, 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 and all of this fuck shit that, of course, they used during the same weekend as March for Our Lives.
Right.
So then Killer Mike had to get on the internet and apologize to all of these kids and talk about how he felt exploited and all this stuff. And on one end, I was like, I understand. But on the other end, I'm like, you went and sat down with the NRA. Like, period.
And that's all you needed to know. It's just the NRA. Like, that nigga that he sat down with, Colion Noir, or however you say it, that's part of my read, so I don't want to get too deep into it.
Okay,
but
cool.
I just feel like what y'all should know about this is that black people should automatically be fully suspicious of any organization like the NRA reaching out to you to speak on their behalf. Because you should know that what you are signing up to be is a token for some white bullshit. You should just know that.
You should just know that.
Killer Mike should know that. And yet he still did this dumb shit. And then had to turn around and try to walk it back. Like, listen, niggas is slow to forgive these days.
That's true.
Niggas is slow to forgive these days.
Because we don't have time.
The times are too bad. Like, this is really fucking bad what we're dealing with.
Very.
The Trump administration is falling. Trump's hoe got on 60 Minutes.
Oh, my precious lamb.
I was in my living room disintegrating, nigga, into a puddle of cells. I was like, you are fucking kidding me.
How is this even happening? And motherfuckers are really just like it's not. Just acting like it's not.
Trump's like all I just don't recall any of this. Okay, well, when she gets to releasing pictures and videos and shit, I bet you'll recall that shit.
Thing after thing after thing after thing after thing.
There's so much.
Constantly. That is like, this man's a jackass.
Mm-hmm. And it's like we just literally have to wait for the highest courts in the land to do something about it because white people are too invested in keeping up their whiteness and all the privileges that come with it to want to get rid of this president. It's a lot. It's really a fucking lot. So, Killer Mike, we just don't. We need everybody who is in the public sphere to be very well aware of what they're doing out here. We don't have no time for anybody that might be construed as being pro-Trump or Trump's agenda in any fucking way.
Arm yourself with, sis.
Right. Especially because black people have to deal with gun violence in the regular gun violence way that everybody else does, and then also in the very racialized, specific way where we are targeted for shit like having cell phones in our own backyards. Alton Sterling's killers getting away with it, not even going to be charged. So it's like black people have so much to deal with around this issue of gun control or whatever, however you want to frame it. And here go Killer Mike being like, well, I mean, it's guns. Let's all have them. Or whatever the fuck. It's just like, this isn't. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for people who are on the wrong side.
In the interview, a lot of it was kind of like, I don't agree with all of what that person said, but this makes some sense. And, y'all don't always agree with this. But it was very much like, let's meet in the middle. I don't want to meet in the middle with the NRA.
There is no meeting in the middle of assault rifles. And the fact that the NRA did Philando Castile the way they did should have been all you needed to know the NRA was not something for black people to fuck with. Because where were they when this licensed gun carrier was killed by the police in his own car? Where were they when that happened? Had they been a white man, it would have been them and they fucking tiki torches and they khaki shorts and they boat shoes.
Right.
So Killer Mike, there just is no. I'm not even trying to defend him because there is no defense for this. This is just gross. It's just gross and wrong, nigga.
I cannot believe it.
You're gonna have to go sit down somewhere and really reevaluate your life if you ever found yourself speaking on behalf of the NRA. It's just gross, girl.
Well, that's just about it for Ready Bottom One this week. We'll take a break and then we're gonna come back. Hey guys, this week's episode is being brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Are you having trouble hiring the right staff? Every business needs great people and a better way to find them. Luckily, today's sponsor knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for and identifies people with the right experience and invites them to apply your job. These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire. Mm-hmm. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive so you never miss a great match. The right candidates are out there, so ZipRecruiter is how you find them.
Yep. Businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. And right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. That is right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/thereed. That is ZipRecruiter.com/the READ. That is ZipRecruiter.com/READ to try ZipRecruiter for free. It is the smartest way to hire. Let them know we sent you, and let's get back to the show.
Okay, so we're back. It's time for our letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. Of course, our first question this week is for mainly you. It's about The Office. The title says, and the Dundies go to. I did see the Dundee episode.
Yes.
Very funny.
Yes.
And so there's some questions here. At what point would you quit working for Michael Scott and Dunder Mifflin? I think after Diversity Day, I would have had to go.
Yeah, I think I probably would have quit. Wasn't it like episode 2?
Right.
I probably would have been out the door during that one.
Do you have a favorite prank or a favorite character?
Okay, I think I've said that Stanley is my favorite character. Favorite prank? There's so many. I like the one where Jim tricked Dwight into thinking that it was like Friday or something.
Oh, yes, when it was really going to be Thursday.
Or something like that.
Right.
So he came to work when everybody was gone or some shit like that.
Right.
That one was really funny. And then there was another one where they may have tricked Dwight and they made Dwight think that like his computer was alive or something.
Oh, I haven't gotten there.
I don't remember when. That may have been like square 3.
What a mess.
I don't remember if it was Jim or if it was Pam that was doing it, but one of them was like tricking Dwight into thinking that his computer was like alive or one of the programs was.
Absolutely.
It was like plotting against it.
Right.
I can
totally see him falling for that. I don't know if I have a favorite character because most of them get on my nerves.
No, a lot of them are aggravating.
In one way or another. But my favorite prank so far has been when Jim and Pam tricked Dwight by uploading his resume to the internet to get him another job.
Yeah.
And it was like a perfect job because Michael needed to fire somebody to make room in the budget. And it would have been just perfect had he actually taken that job, but he had to be Dwight about it and be all extra like,
right.
Do you have my Korean machete training or whatever?
Right.
It was just so much and all of that. And then the last question was, what moment made you cringe the most? For me, so far, that has definitely been when Michael Scott decides to be racist and it just goes on and on past the point of a joke. Like when he was doing that to Mindy Kaling with the whole like Apu bit, I was like, holy, why won't you shut up? Like, shut up, please stop talking. There's a lot of moments where I'm like, oh my God, in this show.
Oh my goodness. The moment for me was, I can't even remember the episode because I've been binging, but it was an episode where he was up in front of was it the Dundies?
Maybe.
He was up in front of like almost everybody from work, like at some sort of event that they were doing or ceremony, and embarrassed himself one way or the next. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but I know that made me cringe a lot. I've got to go back and find out exactly what it was. But I just remember there being an episode where he went up and I was like, Michael, don't. But he does that all of the time.
He does.
Anytime, like you said, he says something racist or when he'll say like something like sexist, those are the moments where
and it's so blatant. And then everybody else is just staring like, like, how is this real? Like, when the man came in after Diversity Day and they did all that, like, sensitivity training, had to sign the paperwork and all that, he was like, I'm only here because of you. Like, we both know that. I'm here because of you and the things you did. The fact that your employee slapped you and didn't get fired should let you know that you did something wrong, sir.
That's true.
It is a really good show, though. I'm looking forward to catching up on the rest of it. And shout out to everybody who said that they are just now listening to the Golden Girls or just now watching the Golden Girls because of us. I'm like, what? I can't imagine having never seen the Golden Girls.
Jeez.
Till 2018. That is just wild to me. So, all right, let's move on. Our first question this week comes from... I've been watching Real Housewives of New York marathons lately. So, it is...
You personally?
I have been watching.
Oh, okay.
Well, because on Bravo, they were showing a marathon of it earlier. So, I just started watching. And I got swept up very quickly. Them white women are crazy.
I haven't watched it in a minute, but yeah, New York goes off.
They're a mess. Like, they're all rich as fuck, but they're all also really crazy.
Yeah. So,
our first question comes from Luann, who says... Hi, Grizzly and Kid Fury. Thank you so much for all that. If I were her, I would never remarry just because I'm never giving up that title.
What?
I'm always going to be a countess. Like, what? Fuck you. I'm not marrying no nigga who's not a count. You got me fucked up. Okay, anyway. So Luann says, it's hard here dating as a professional black woman. I'm also a virgin. I've done oral before, but no penetration. When it comes to penetration, I fail in that department. I don't even have any successful gyno visits because it seems like I have some anxiety with anything down there. I have no idea why, as I have never experienced any trauma. My last gynecologist had to examine me under anesthesia since she couldn't insert the speculum without me in tears or in pain. I've had a bad experience with my first boyfriend. He knew I was a virgin and knew that I wanted to wait, but he would pressure me and body shame me whenever we tried to have sex. He would say ignorant things like, oh, you must not be into it because you ain't open for me. Side note, I don't never know what niggas mean when they say that.
What does that mean?
What do you mean, nigga? Like, do you mean physically open for you? Do you mean like
emotionally?
The canal open for you? I don't get it. This was about 4 years ago. In the meantime, I moved to a new city.
A little traumatic.
Right. And but like nigga traumatic.
Yeah.
Like, just the things you have to go through when you start dating, unfortunately.
Right.
It's either go through that or never date.
That's true.
So she says she moved to a new city, and I met a cute, educated Southern man on an app. We hit it off, and I managed to keep him around for about 3 months without sharing the fact that I'm a virgin. Impressive. When we finally reached the moment where we were both in my home and in my bed, I wanted to be honest with him. So I said, I just want to let you know that I'm a virgin. And before we go further, I need to know I can trust you, that you won't pressure me or body shame me if we can't get it in tonight, which was something my therapist recommended. Sounds like something a therapist would say.
Should.
He assured me that I had his trust and I had the best night of my life, oral sex-wise. Okay. Hoo-dee-hoo. I can't recall a time I've ever felt so open, comfortable, and damn near ready to get it in. I felt like I finally found the right penis that will help me do the deed, but he did not feel the same. He said he was fine with it the night of, but his actions afterwards said the complete opposite. He ghosted me for 3 weeks until I cornered him to talk about why he was being weird. He ended up dumping me for not wanting to deal with, quote, the weight of my virginity, unquote. He also mentioned that his ex came back into the picture, so he wanted to pursue that. Then he had the nerve to ask if we could still be friends. Lord. I just want to find someone who's cool with me taking my time. Why is that so hard to find? Why does every guy think that I'm going to be that annoying itch that you can't scratch once I have sex with them? I know how to stay in my lane if this is the case. This is the third guy, my first boyfriend included, who has dumped me for my wholesomeness. What advice can you offer me for dating as a virgin? I just want to find a man who's cool with this and won't disrespect or ghost me when I reveal my virginity. I'm nowhere near ready to settle down with anyone, but I do want to get out there and date. Sincerely, Luann, La Countess.
Well,
she's 26. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch that at least. Well, you know, Luann, niggas ain't shit. And
just started right there.
Niggas ain't shit. A lot of niggas are horny toads. Most niggas are horny toads.
Yeah.
And whatever the weight of your virginity shit means is complete and utter bullshit. Like, you aren't giving it up, and the nigga is thinking either, like, probably two things. I want some and I'm not going to get it from you. And if I do get it from you, then you're probably just going to act all weird and clingy and annoying and whatever the fuck. So I'm just going to go fuck my ex and ruin her life because I know she's going to let me, even though we probably broke up because I'm horrible.
Right. Like, him saying that his ex popped back in the picture just means, like, somebody who's willing to give me some pussy is around.
Exactly.
So I stopped talking to you because it was just oral and I didn't want to do that.
And he doesn't want to be your friend. I mean, you said he had the nerve to ask you that, so I'm assuming that you kind of understand that part already. But the nigga basically, in the, like, wackest way, was just trying to say, like, I want to fuck.
Right.
And you're not going to let me. And I don't want to sound like a dick, so I'm going to just make up whatever lame cockamamie-ass excuse.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where you can find a man who's willing to just sit back and wait for you to be ready for him to have sex.
Never heard of him. But what you can do...
I really can't. I don't know where you're going to find, unless he's also a virgin.
Hey, man, good luck with that.
If you can find one of those. What is a straight, black, virgin male over the age of 25? What is that? Does that exist?
Never heard of it.
I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
That is.
That's endangered like fuck.
Maybe if he's trapped in a bunker. But
come on, Unbreakable.
You know, I would say just continue to date and take your time. And that dude is out there. Like, someone who genuinely likes you and has feelings for you. And I say to like even women who aren't virgins, like a lot of girls who have lost their virginity or whatever, take their time before they sleep with guys because, you know, you want to be with someone who you feel like likes you not just because of that. And maybe it's a newsflash, but there really aren't that many niggas that aren't driven by sexual desire first. So
unfortunately,
it is going to take time, whether you are a virgin or not, for you to find a guy that doesn't just want to get into your pants real fast, even if he does like you. And there are a lot of guys that will be super sweet to you and will like you, again, regardless of whether or not you're a virgin. And once they sleep with you, then all of a sudden, you know, they've teleported to Narnia and nobody can find them.
They will be so sweet and patient and loving. I mean, like, they're going to sit back and be like, oh, no, girl, it's cool to wait until you're ready to have sex because they fucking somebody else. So they're getting sexy in the meantime.
They're already satisfied.
So they're waiting on you to be ready. So I also join that number.
And then they're all just going.
And then you're going to get treated like everybody else. The whole act is going to be dropped. It's rare and it's difficult to find somebody who's going to really want to pursue a genuine connection with you while also not pressing you to do something you're not ready. I feel like that is going to be very difficult to find. And the older you get, the less likely you are to find it.
I mean,
I don't know what to tell you.
That's a factor because, you know, most niggas your age have been out here for a while.
At least a decade.
Constantly.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something, but I think that you have like power for yourself in the situation, especially because you're a virgin. Like, you definitely don't want, for the first time that you actually let somebody get some at the age of 26, for it to experience that level of fuck niggadom. Like, you don't, it's too late for that, you know? So when you do actually find the right guy that makes you comfortable, that makes you feel like you want to do this, that's not pressuring you, is not acting crazy or different or distant after you say you're a virgin and you want to take your time, he's probably the guy that once you do have sex with him is still gonna fuck with you and be around and really like you and treat you nice because he didn't make you feel like sex was on the menu or needed to be on the menu for you to be around him, and didn't act differently or strange, didn't change once he realized that he was gonna have to wait, you know? Right. Those are the types of guys that you're gonna want to give your time to. You know, don't allow for niggas like whoever the fuck that just ghosted. Don't allow for that to affect how you feel about yourself or your decision to wait or whatever. Because really, you're kind of like a Brita. You're kind of like a filter, and all of the fuck niggas are just getting trapped in there until the right one comes through, and you're like, okay, now I don't feel goofy.
I mean, just good luck, sis, because again, it's going to be so hard. I would also say talk to your therapist about why virginity is something that you are holding onto so dearly, because maybe there's something there that you need to work out with your qualified professional. But most importantly, these niggas is not worth your pussy. So
let me write that down.
So that's really not even all that relevant.
I just got a Harley Quinn journal too, so that's gonna be the first thing I know.
Yes, you haven't even opened it yet.
These niggas ain't worth.
They're not worth your pussy.
Your pussy.
So even if you do work out, you know, whatever your issues are around virginity, they still not worth it, girl.
That's right, exactly.
So it's like you might as well not even work them out because they still don't. But anyway, you do what's best for you, sis.
Exactly.
Let us know how it goes. Our next question comes from Dorinda, who says, I love y'all and your show. You give me so much Black Boy Joy every week. Don't know what I would do without you.
Well, do you want a fancy pen?
Oh, yes, bitch. Oh, okay. Come on. Rose quartz pen. What is a diamond?
It was inspired by the Crystal Gems and by Trina.
This is oh, yes. This is very much a Diamond Princess ink pen. Thank you. I'm going to be very fake bougie with this.
No problem. So, Dorinda says,
I moved halfway across the country to a new city. I have worked with my company for a few years, and while I don't get paid a lot yet, there's a lot of opportunity, and if you stay here long enough, you will make bank. Our company is typical corporate America, full of white, fratty, and basic people. Also, my favorite people keep quitting, so I feel like I'm slowly becoming an isolated island. That reminds me of Pam and Jim, when Jim was like, if you leave this job, I do not know what I will do.
Right.
Like, if you can't quit this job.
The only other person here.
The only other person here that I could even remotely relate to. All right. In my last office, there were 3 Black people, and here I am the only one.
Oh, my God.
That's always rough. Recently, my grandmother passed away. She had cancer, and we knew it was her time, so I flew back to the East Coast to be with her for the last few moments she had. I told my boss what was going on, and my grandmother left us a few days later. About a day after she passed away, my coworker wrote me an email and CC'd other colleagues asking where I was. I told them what happened, and they were very sympathetic, and that was the end. Fast forward today. Over the weekend, my coworker's grandmother passed away. She sent an email blast to everyone letting them know what happened, which is something I did not do.
I know exactly where this is going.
When I got to the office on Monday, the coworker who had CC'd me on the original email asking me where my grandmother, or asked me where I was when my grandmother passed away, had sent an email to everyone in the office asking who wanted to chip in to buy flowers for this other girl.
I knew it.
To be honest, I'm feeling some kind of way. Nobody thought of doing this for me, and I had a really hard time with my grandmother's passing. I know I didn't email everyone to let them know, but some people did know, specifically the girl organizing the flower donations.
Right.
I feel bad for my coworker and sent my condolences, but I don't think I want to chip in. My questions are, am I being too petty by not putting in on these flowers? Should I bring up the fact that no one did this for me, or should I leave it alone? Should I just get a new job? Haha, JK, ain't nobody get a new job. I need money.
Ain't nobody mad at you, my nigga.
Nobody's mad at that. Would love your thoughts on this. XOXO. Oh, you put confused, but I called you Dorinda, so it's too late. All right, Dorinda.
So, Doe, I definitely would not be pitching into anything. I wouldn't make a point to say anything to anybody. That is something that I probably would, if anybody, I would go and say to my other Black coworker. But since you don't have one,
You have none.
You're Black friends, I guess.
Stanley out here.
Yeah. And even when that other nigga came to work, I think that's your next season.
Yeah.
I already talked about that on the show, though.
Right.
Stanley was like, nigga, I do not care about that.
Oh, God, he bought his wife to the Dundies.
Mm-hmm.
It was just when Pam took her drink, I said, oh, my good sis is wasted.
Yes.
And she just knew that engagement joke was coming, but it was something like best tennis shoes or whatever. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pitch in because of exactly what you're saying. Like, I, too, just lost my grandmother. And, you know, me, myself, Kid Fury, my grandmother passed away. She had cancer. We knew it was her time. I know this entire thing. I wouldn't say anything. I don't have to be insensitive to you or whatever because I know what you're going through. But the fact that y'all completely overlooked this for me, and now all of a sudden you want bells and whistles for this other girl, I wish her the best, and I hope that she and her family find peace and all of that, and that's what they're gonna get. Perhaps a prayer. But I'm not pitching into anybody no, not at all. But I'm not saying anything to anybody either. I'm not rocking no boats. I already know what time it is. You know my grandmother died. You know her grandmother died. Mm-hmm. And you know that y'all are getting flowers of her and that you did not do it for me. And if I were to say something, then it would be I did not even...
you didn't tell us. You didn't send out an email blast. We would have done it. We didn't know.
But I had no idea.
If they wanted to do it for you, they would have done it as soon as they found out your grandmother mother passed away, regardless of whether you made a big public announcement about it or not.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
office bullshit.
It is office bullshit. But that is one of the, reasons that many Black people of color, specifically in office work, come into work and they do the Stanley, which is, I just want to do this so that I can go home. I want as few microaggressions. I want as few reminders of racism. like, I just want...
Oh, God. Do you know what I just thought about? The basketball game. The way Stanley dribbled that ball. I had to rewind it 8 times.
You almost fell out your chair.
I almost fell. I'm sorry. Something you said made me think about that. I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, Stanley.
Y'all gotta watch The Office.
It's so funny. And I love how they, like, the Black people who work down in
shipping or whatever.
Like Craig Robinson and them, would, like, would tell Stanley, no, not tell Stanley, tell Michael that like completely fake words were like hood slang. And so he would go around saying like ishkabibble or like who dumb, just a random dumb stuff.
I love it.
Thinking that he sounded cool. Office is hilarious.
So much.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck that and fuck them. I wouldn't be contributing and I wouldn't feel no type of way about it, but I also would not bring it up. I would chalk that up to working with a bunch of fucking white people and leave it exactly where it is.
And they'd be like, Tyrone is he's not friendly. Like at all.
Right.
He's just standoffish.
See? And the most important thing when you keep in your job and want to have peace at work is not upsetting white people.
Unfortunately. They can upset you.
Right. And you just have to take it.
Every live-long day.
All the time.
And you just got to take it.
Every day, all day. Right. But the moment you be like, hey, white people, the things you're doing are very upsetting to me.
Oh, my gosh. You have to catch up. Because I was just thinking about an episode with Stanley and Michael. Like, where he...
Okay, yeah, no, don't tell me. I'll watch it. Okay. I've been watching it so much over the past few days. So.
I mean, most of Michael's employees get him together. But let's just say Stanley really got him together.
Okay.
And it was
not wait.
Thing.
I cannot wait. Because they be gathering him all the time.
And he just wants everybody to like him. So, like...
That's the thing. He's a horrible boss. But he truly cares about the people who work for him. And he just wants all of them to like him. But he's so awful at his job. And just like a wretched person in general.
Usually reasons people don't like Michael is because something he did or said trying to get them to like him.
Yes.
Or be cool or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're annoying, bro.
Or you could just sit over there and be white. And that would also be fine.
But you have your own room with a door that closes.
Why do you...
You don't even have to be out here.
Oh, God. The day they had to make it, the day the firings had to happen, and he just sat in the office all day. Like, what are you... Anyway, so our last question this week comes from Bethany, who says... Hey guys, my name is Bethany. I am a... Sorry. This person put a name, but I already named you Bethany. So.
Right.
I'm a 25-year-old college student. I moved to Georgia from Virginia about 3 years ago. And between working full-time, going to school, and being in the military, I have not had a lot of time to make friends. Most of the friendships I have established have been through my job. I became close with one girl in particular. There have been a few incidents over the years of her making racially insensitive comments. She is mixed with Dominican and white.
Oh, God.
Okay, which I have for the most part tried to brush off because I don't want to seem like the overly aggressive black girl and because I didn't want to burn one of the few connections I've made out here.
It's always that.
A few weekends ago, that changed. Bless it. We went out in Atlanta for a brunch festival and I arrived late. She was visibly irritated with me, which I understand because my ass is literally late everywhere. I'm glad you could be self-aware about that, girl.
Me.
When your friends are like, really, bitch, do we have to start telling you 45 minutes before we start that you need to be there?
Might help.
God damn it, that's Jay with the movies. You have to literally tell Jay that the movie start time is 30 minutes before when it is because she will not be on time.
I just tell people I'm Jamaican. It's not an excuse.
Jamaicans have clocks also.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
There's never been a party or a gathering that my mama ever threw for my family and their
parties
friends
are
and
very
stuff.
different.
My mama.
No one shows up to parties on time.
Gathering, anything, films, restaurants, anything. My mother is like, "Oh, dinner is at 5 and dinner starts
Dinner's
at 8:30."
At 7:30. So
it's just no.
Bethany says, so yeah, they were at the brunch festival, which also sounds lit as fuck. Come on, Atlanta, what is this?
I want to go.
We had more than a few mimosas, and by the time it was over, we were both drunk. Yes. We agreed to walk around at a nearby shopping center to sober up until we could drive. She got sober a lot quicker than I did and asked me several times if I was feeling any better, and I answered honestly every time with no. A few hours in, she said we should start walking back to the cars in the parking lot where we could sit, and I agreed to that. When we got to the parking lot, though, she walked me to my car, put me in the passenger seat, and said she's leaving to go to dinner somewhere else, and I should sleep it off here.
Like a toddler.
Like a fucking toddler. Stay right here.
Don't move.
Don't touch nothing in my car. I will be back.
Go to sleep. This happened to me too.
I sat there for probably an hour before I realized that sitting in my car drunk wasn't safe, and I started the trip back to Athens, which is an hour away. The next day, I realized how pissed I was for her leaving me like that. And when I confronted her about it, she said that I knew I had to drive back home and I shouldn't have gotten as drunk as I did, and that she shouldn't be responsible for taking care of me. I haven't spoken to her since then. So she confronted the friend about leaving her in the car. And the friend was like, well, listen, girl, you knew you had to drive back to Athens, so I don't know why you got that drunk in the first place, and it's not my job to take care of you. Like, you just shouldn't have got that drunk. Right. Let's see. I haven't spoken to her since then, and at this point, I don't know if I should continue my friendship with her. I realized driving under the influence was something I should not have done, and under any other circumstance, I would not have done it. But at the same time, I feel like as someone she calls her best friend, she should have had the forethought to not leave me in a situation like that. Do you think I have a right to be angry at her? Should I try to save this friendship or tell her about herself or just throw the whole friend away? Thanks, Bethany.
Bethany, you know,
I picked this one because I'm conflicted about it.
I feel a little conflicted about it too. I don't think that you can. Okay, I would definitely talk to her about this, regardless of where my desire for the friendship goes or how whatever it is.
Right.
But because on one end, if you did know that you alone were responsible for driving to Athens or whatever,
because you drive to Atlanta from Athens,
right? Then maybe you should not have been so drunk. But at the same time, I would say to her, like, I understand that, and that is true, but I would want to evaluate our friendship if you were not at the very least like, you know, to just leave you there and be like, figure it out, which you clearly can't figure anything out. You're wasted.
Right.
You know, like there couldn't have been an Uber or a Lyft or like just come and sleep at my house or something. Like, I have had moments where I've had friends that were so drunk that I had to take care of them. And it is frustrating, but that's what friends do. Right. And I've also had moments where I was so drunk that I frustrated friends that had to take care of me.
Yes.
But that's what friends do.
We have all been there.
Oh.
We have all been that friend. Oh, God. Maybe we were that friend 2 weeks ago.
Maybe you were that friend at If I Were a Rapper. No, it wasn't that bad.
If I Were a Rapper, the Hennessy was flowing freely backstage.
It was. And you were providing most of the refreshments.
I did that.
Alcoholic and herbal.
I did
so
that.
Nobody was mad at you. Like, nobody was.
Nobody's ever mad at me because it's always my weed. So it's fine.
But yeah, that's a conversation. I feel like both of y'all kind of fucked up in that situation. I just can't. You getting drunk when and forcing people to look after you is a fuck up. But your friends putting you in a position where you could have gotten severely hurt because they just didn't want to take care of you or look after you, I feel like is worse. Because, like, what if you had gotten hurt?
I mean, she was probably thinking, this bitch is going to sit her drunk ass in the passenger seat, maybe sleep it off.
Nah.
And then wake up later. Right. But see,
if I took your keys.
25 is like, right. Now, if I took your keys, that's something else. But 25 is on the cusp of, like, making good decisions and not. And
it's a transition.
It's a very transitional period where you fuck up frequently, but you learn to do better.
Right.
So I feel like what your friends should have, if y'all were truly friends, and y'all should have that conversation about how you feel about one another. But what I would have done in that state, if I really wanted to go to dinner and my friend was just fucking wasted like that, is just go to dinner and decide whether that bitch can sit peacefully in the restaurant with us and eat. Maybe that's what she needs.
Right.
Or if she's so wasted, she needs to lay down, face down in the back seat of the car so she can throw up freely or whatever until I'm done.
Here is a bucket.
Right. Right, because, it's not her job to take care of you. And she's right that if you had to do all that driving, you should not have gotten that drunk.
That's
true. You should not have, but you did.
Yes.
And so a real friend is going to figure out how to deal with the situation from there. And then the next day be like, you annoying piece of shit, bitch. I cannot believe I had to leave my good brown bread at Cheesecake Factory because you're a bitch ass.
You know how bad I wanted that fucking bread. Hell is your goddamn problem.
Me and Jada Kia went upstate because they were speaking at a college, Manhattanville. And Jay asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, oh, girl, I don't know if I can make it. She was like, we're going to stop at Cheesecake Factory all the way back. And I was like, I can make it work.
I know exactly what cheesecake it is, too.
That one that we always go to.
Yes. Just to go to cheesecake.
Just to go to
like, completely upset.
Anyway, so I feel like both of y'all could have handled this better, but it just needs to be a very honest conversation between the two of you about, like, you feel away. She's probably also is like, bitch, I'm not here to babysit your grown ass. Like, you're grown. I'm not here for that. So it's something to be talked through, but you also said she's made some racially insensitive remarks before, so it might also be a sign that you just don't need to fuck with this girl no more.
It sounds like maybe y'all might both be over each other.
Right.
And that happens, you know, but
people outgrow friendships all the time.
It does happen all of the time, but I prefer to have, like, a one-on-one conversation and establish that we've outgrown each other so that I can, like, move on or whatever, rather than it being, like, a play thing and we see each other and I don't know if you really looking out for me or what.
Sucks.
Like, that's just dumb and it's a waste of time.
Right, no.
Maybe you can offer an apology for putting her in a position where she was, like, you know, taking care of you because you were fucked up. And she should apologize to you for putting you in a position where you could have got hurt because she didn't want to deal with you or whatever. But if y'all can't meet each other in the middle there and understand, then you know that there's nothing to salvage.
Yeah. I have like this very close group of friends from college who have seen me at my absolute worst. My worst. Like, lost my panties in the gay club worst. They have seen me at my worst. Yeah. But I have also seen them at theirs. That's the thing.
That's the thing. That's how friendship works.
They took care of me, and then the next time when it was they dumb black asses doing the most, then I took care of
That's how it
pulling
is.
over on the side of the highway so your dumb drunk ass can throw up and not in my car. This is something we do for each other.
This is friendship.
And it was around this same 25-year-old age that feels very fuzzy to me now, but literally was not that long ago. So I would say, y'all should just have a conversation. Hopefully it works out, but if not, you know, to cut your losses and to not get that drunk again when you have to be that responsible for yourself. So, good luck to you. If you guys have any questions, send yours to asktheread@gmail.com and we will be back. Hey y'all, when it comes to bra shopping, it is all about finding the right fit for you, and today's sponsor is the only lingerie brand that offers bras in sizes AA through G, ThirdLove. ThirdLove uses thousands of real people's measurements and super smoothing memory foam to create bras that fit and feel great. ThirdLove offers 60 sizes, including half cups, which no one else does. Yes, there's a lot of sizes of titties out there. They know there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they are offering our listeners 15% off your first order. So to find the bra you've been waiting for, all you have to do is answer a few simple questions from ThirdLove's Fit Finder quiz. It only takes 60 seconds and you can do it all from home. ThirdLove bras are so comfortable you might forget you're wearing it. They sent me one a while back, the t-shirt bra, and it was and still is the only bra I don't take off as soon as I get home. It feels like a second skin when you have it on. It's just like your titties just magically feel like they're supposed to.
I want some.
It's amazing. And if you don't agree, returns and exchanges are easy and free. So this year, make the shift that will change the way you think about bras. Go to thirdlove.com/read right now to find your perfect fitting bra and to get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/READ. Let them know I sent you. Do something nice for your titties, and let's move on.
This week's episode is also being brought to you by Squarespace. If you're ready to start a new business, you can make it stand out with Squarespace. They've got beautiful templates crafted by world-class designers. Squarespace makes it easy to turn your new idea into a unique website. I know many of y'all are starting podcasts of your own or products that you're trying to sell, and you know you need to have a web presence, so go to Squarespace where you can showcase your work or blog or publish content, sell your products and services with just a few clicks, and we've both used it for our website.
So
this
easy.
is the read. It is very
simple.
easy to use. And as someone who has had to use all of this stuff, you need to install and patch and go through the back door, the front side. This is very easy.
Fuck all that coding shit.
And you can still get something that looks delicious. And best of all, they've got an award-winning 24/7 customer support system that's always there to help you if you do mess up. Or get confused.
No, and they're always there. So head to squarespace.com today for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a site or domain. That's squarespace.com, offer code READ. Your destiny is knocking, girl, is calling. So make sure you answer and get that new website. Make it with Squarespace, and let's wrap up the show.
Okay, so the read.
Hootie hoo.
Zerid. I can't do like, I really want to do like a French R. It's so hard. That's not Spanish?
Well, maybe. I feel like I can do it much more easily when I am speaking French than just when somebody's like, do the French R.
Right.
It's just kind of like a rolling thing, but not super aggressive like the Spanish one.
I'll figure it out.
Louvre.
Okay.
Le Louvre.
Okay.
It's just
I just don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I don't know what. All right. So I am actually, I've been locking myself in the house and, catching up on TV and behind on all of the things. So I don't really have too much on my mind in terms of reads. So I'm going to pass mine.
Okay.
This week.
History like we used to.
And this comes from T. It is about his Black Panther experience, which was ruined by some jerks, it says in the subject line. This is from about a month ago, but here you go. It says, "So the idiot assholes who ruined my Black Panther experience. Fuck you. I don't know who you are or even how many of you there are, but you all fucking suck. This past weekend, I attempted to go and view the magnificence that is Black Panther. I was already uncomfortable because I have not seen a film on opening weekend on purpose since Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince back in 2009. I don't like dealing with annoying superfans, and it's always hard to find seats for the whole group. I just get it. Unfortunately, we never made it past the previews. I heard a commotion behind me and saw that people were headed for the emergency exits. Given the prevalence of mass shootings in public spaces, I took Uncle Cedric the Entertainer's advice and got the fuck out of there as well.
True.
While standing outside in the freezing cold, I saw at least a dozen cop cars on their way to the theater from the freeway, and after hearing people talk of hearing gunshots, we decided it was time to go. As we left the parking lot, we saw even more police and were constantly checking the news for any information on what had just happened. Here's what annoyed the hell out of me. We were under the impression that there was an active shooter in the mall where this theater is located. Later that night, it was determined that no gun was fired in the mall whatsoever, and that the noise people mistook for gunshots was actually metal posts that were knocked over in a scuffle. While I am extremely grateful that nobody was seriously injured or shot at that night, I'm still frustrated at the entire situation. I'm saddened that worrying about getting shot is something people have to think about at movie theaters and other public places because people would rather hold on to their stupid-ass guns than give any shred of thought to the common good. And I'm also really pissed off that I ran for my life and missed the movie over a situation that wasn't even that serious, but has already tarnished my experience of the film and any other I might want to catch on the big screen. So to the right-wing gun nuts out there, fuck off and don't come back until you learn some goddamn decency and compassion. And for the jerks who got in a fight at the AMC on Saturday night, I hope all y'all step on a Lego for fucking up my night and scaring the shit out of so many people over whatever personal problem you couldn't get over in that moment. I hope every paper you touch gives you a paper cut in the webbing between your fingers. And I hope that whenever any of y'all play the lottery, you're off by one number. Sincerely, T.
That's petty.
P.S. I still haven't seen the movie, but AMC is willing to honor the ticket at a later date given the situation, so shout out to them.
Amen. I was about to say, the worst part is AMC not going to give you a refund, but I'm glad that they were like, you know what? Yes, understandable panic.
Hopefully by now you've seen it
multiple times.
Assuming you have. I don't know. I wouldn't be
so mad if somebody ruined that first Black Panther viewing experience for me.
I wouldn't even be mad if you're just like, I'll wait for the Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever to come out or streaming.
Fuck the movies.
Because there are like a lot of movies that I was super like hyped to see, really wanted, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually just gonna wait for the movie to come out because I hate going. I've talked about it.
Yeah.
There have been so many times where I have gone to the theater and it was ruined because of some dummy.
Yeah.
Like I'm surprised it didn't happen with Black Panther. Honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, me too. Well, a couple of the times I saw Black Panther, I was like, well, you niggas please shut up. But
at least the first time I went.
Right. The first time I went, it was perfect.
Right.
So, I'm very grateful for that. I would have been pissed.
There was also a read in here that was about light skin that I may do next week.
Okay. I was going to say, hold on. I don't know if the people can handle all
right.
that.
That's exactly why I didn't do it today. I was like, you know what? I need to actually have my wits all the way about me and tell the girls they need to prepare their britches because this one's going to hurt feelings.
Amen.
But maybe I'll do that one next time.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. Thank you for that. I only have a couple of quick things to talk about this week, but first I wanted to talk about something positive. Have you seen the video of this 3-year-old who knows DMX song lyrics?
If you make me lose my mind up in here.
about to play it. If you guys haven't seen this, go find her mother's name is Sarah Pelissero. Go find this video on Twitter because this is the cutest shit of my life.
She's hilarious. That here takes me down. She's this little white girl just casually just in the kitchen. Like, what is she doing? Throwing the trash out?
So the best part is that she's clearing what looks to be like her dinner dishes.
Okay.
So she's throwing the leftover food in the trash and then putting the dish in the sink. I think it looks like her mama's Asian.
Okay.
So, but I see why you thought she was white.
Okay.
But it is so adorable because apparently at daycare or wherever she goes, somebody black is around this little girl.
I'm assuming, like, whatever daycare or
Some
something.
caregiver was like, you know what, I need a little X right now to hit the spot. And this baby was
and
like,
it really could be a Mima.
this is my fucking song.
This is the shit.
I just love the idea of y'all's 3-year-olds singing DMX while they're
God,
doing
I hope
the
it was
dishes.
the clean version. You know it wasn't.
The fact that she knows up in here.
Like, clearly, they play that song for her.
Make me lose my mind.
And the first time, she jammed so hard that they played
like,
it a
we have to
couple
play
more.
it all the time.
Because she knows it.
She knows it, right. So go check out that video if you haven't seen it already. It is a bright spot in a lot of shitty news
It
week.
did make me smile.
So what I was talking about earlier with the whole NRA thing is somebody named Collion Noir. Like I said, don't really know if that's how his name is pronounced, but his real name, well, his mama called him is Collins Ayer Idahan Jr. He's from Houston. He has over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Of course he does.
And he is the black guy who loves guns and loves the NRA and loves the Second Amendment. And he's that token, super gun nut.
Right.
And I say that because I know lots of black people really do love their guns, especially in the South and the Southwest.
Hey.
I grew up, around people who hunted for food or not like, oh my God, we need food, so we going to hunt. But like niggas just went deer hunting.
Right.
It just was a thing that happened. And people had guns. But this is different.
Yes.
Having a YouTube channel about it and marketing yourself as like the black guy who does this is different and trash. But I have never needed to pay attention to this person until recently. It's taken me a lot to say this out loud because I can't believe that this is happening. But right before the March for Our Lives whole thing happened, he got on his NRA TV channel and said, to all the kids from Parkland getting ready to use your First Amendment to attack everyone else's Second Amendment at your march on Saturday, I wish a hero like Blaine Gaskill had been at Marjorie Douglas High School last month because your classmates would still be alive and no one would know your names because the media would have completely and utterly ignored your story the way they ignored this. Okay. So first of all, this was not completely and utterly ignored. The Blaine Gaskill story was on all the major news outlets. I'm not sure why you said that, but Blaine Gaskill is, he works for, I think, St. Mary's County. It's a school in Maryland. And he actually did end up stopping a shooter. I think the young man had already shot his girlfriend, but, he prevented something much worse from happening. And so this asshole decided to take it upon himself to be like, well, nobody would know your names if your classmates were still alive and all this bullshit. Like, well, first of all, sir, antagonizing teenagers makes you look like a bitch. It simply does.
Like a large...
You just look like a little bitch.
Pussy bitch. Like...
Coming after kids is crazy. Secondly, I think... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Parkland students, but I feel like that is the point. Not that they weren't looking to be famous. They were not looking for attention. They certainly did not ask the universe when they woke up that day, please let there be a crazy gunman come into our school and shoot up, our friends and all that and have people that we know and love die. That wasn't the point. These kids didn't want to be famous, but I can't see how a grown person can take a look at the fact, the cold, hard reality of the situation is that our American kids are not even safe in school. None of them. Not from the richest and whitest to the poorest and blackest. They're not safe at school. And so for you to turn around and have an attitude with the kids for being like, hey, the grown-ups in charge should do something to protect us and not care more about guns than our fucking lives. And for you to be like, oh, well, nobody would even know who y'all were if not for this whole shooting in the first place. It's like, well, duh, bitch. We really wish there had not been a whole shooting in the first place so that nobody would know who the fuck we were, because guns are not so ubiquitous in this country that shit like this happens all the time. There's so many school shootings, we don't even pay attention to all of them no more.
True.
If under a certain number of people are shot or died, it's like it barely even a news story. You might get a couple of tweets or whatever about it. Like, it's not even a huge deal like it should be, because it is absolutely absurd that children cannot be safe going to school every day. So fuck that nigga Colion Noir, who the fact that he does
Colin Clans.
The fact that he does videos for NRA TV is all you need to know about him. But the fact that he turned around and said something so damn dumb behind it, like, you really gonna come for these kids? And not even just, it's not like it was a bunch of high school kids at this March for Our Lives. It was millions of people across the country, nigga.
Yes,
when I tell you they had Midtown Manhattan shut the fuck down, that's what they did. I went down there like a fool and could not. Traffic was so bad. The trains wasn't running. You couldn't get off nowhere. You couldn't do this or that, because so many people are fed up with the fact that the government cares more about guns than they do about us.
It's just stupid.
And it's insane that it has gotten so bad that we are actually attacking children. Some congresswoman or state senator, somebody said, you know, it is just these kids. You expect me to pay attention to somebody who was playing video games and eating Doritos last week? Like, yes, if they know somebody else who was also playing video games and eating Doritos last week, and now that nigga not here no more because he got shot dead at school, girl, I do expect y'all to pay attention to that. Why are y'all acting like these kids are being unreasonable for wanting to stay alive? God damn!
It's ridiculous.
It's just trash. So fuck that nigga. And also, the superintendent of Blue Mountain School District in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania.
Sound like you need to get rid.
This is so funny. They have been talking about, you know, school safety again has been a very big issue lately. His name is Dr. David Helsel. He was testifying to the Helsel, Helsel. Don't know what that is. Probably something white supremacy. But
the devil was involved.
He was testifying to the House Education Committee last week and said that their plan of defense is a 5-gallon bucket of stones. This doctor said with a straight face, every classroom has been equipped with a 5-gallon bucket of river stones. If an armed intruder attempts to gain entrance into any of our classrooms, they will face a room full of students armed with rocks, and they will be stoned. I just had the idea of river stone.
Laugh. I shouldn't laugh.
It's not funny. It's not funny, but it is funny.
It's like an episode of like Family Guy or something. Like, are y'all serious?
It sounds like something Michael Scott would recommend.
Yes! Or Dwight fucking Schrute.
Hey, kids, I know that with these semi-automatic rifles, people can let off tons and tons of bullets within a couple of minutes, but as long as everybody has a rock right here on their desk and is ready, you really expect children, let me get this straight, you really expect children to, when dealing with the threat of an active shooter, to have the wits about them enough to go to this bucket, this pail, grab a rock, and be prepared to fight and be prepared to defend themselves with these river stones against somebody with a rifle.
Let's just start the Hunger Games. Is that what we're doing? Let's just don't make no sense. Do we get districts?
This just don't make no sense.
Who loves the Hunger Games this much?
This just does not make sense. First of all, it's not feasible. It's not going to happen that way. If there is an active shooter, if that nigga, the first classroom that nigga busts into, nobody's going to be thinking about
get the rocks,
stones, right? The kids are not keeping stones on their desk and just like constantly vigilant. Like, I could be studying, I could be doing my worksheet right now, but I might have to throw this
paperweight that also doubles as a weapon. Like, y'all are.
This is what they're teaching these kids, and then y'all are mad that the kids are turning around like, we need better than this. This is absolutely total garbage trash. I can't understand that somebody who is the superintendent of the school system actually was like, I mean, yeah, we got, doors and shit. We got security. The kids go through Alice, that whole, where the children learn how to react to active shooters and all this. But it is really ridiculous to think that anybody is going to have the presence of mind to fight back with a bucket of stones against bullets. Everybody's going to be hysterical. Throwing the rocks, if you even get to the rocks, throwing them all crazy. And a nigga with a gun can take you out with a bullet before that rock even leaves his hand.
Before your mind goes to get the rocks.
So fucking foolish. And he did say, the rocks are a last resort. But...
They would have to be.
The rocks are not a resort. The rocks don't work, girl. That's just not good. This isn't David and Goliath. You're not going to be able to sling a rock and take down
foolish bitch. Fuck is wrong with these niggas? Are you kidding me?
Oh, God. I just can't understand how the people in charge are so dumb. And it makes me feel away because I remember being young and thinking, wow, what is wrong with adults? But now I'm an adult and I'm still like, wow, what is wrong with the rest of y'all? Like, how are y'all... Y'all grew up and you just got dumber? You just decided to be ignorant?
It was kind of opposite for me. Like, as a kid, I used to just think that, like, grown-ups just kind of knew things and, like, figured stuff out, and the president was, like, the smartest person on earth. And, like, I was just completely, like, adults have it. Yeah. And then once I kind of grew up, I was like, oh, y'all don't know anything anything.
Real quick.
But this level of, like, absurdity.
A river pail. I'm sure you did this because it cost y'all, what? Like, you had to buy maybe 20 buckets and that was it. And somebody just went down to the stream and filled them up with rocks. I'm sure you did this because it was cheap as fuck. But if I was an educator or a staff member, every time I walked into that school and saw a bucket of rocks, I would be disgusted. What is that really going to do when you are staring down the barrel of a gun?
I cannot believe this is real life.
It just lets you know that the people in charge have not even just no experience, but they are just completely cut off from the realities of this world.
There's no concern. There's no anything.
This is just so fake. This is just
one
trash
agenda.
I don't get it.
All of the time. And there's not even any, like, sense or, like, elegance in the way that they try to screw everyone over. It's just like, just say whatever dumb shit, because they can't do anything to you. It's like, I read the other day that Rick Santorum said, like, those kids' time would be better served if they were, like, taking CPR classes rather than... No. I was like, sweetie, have you heard of CPR?
What?
Like,
what is CPR
do you know what
gonna
CPR
do when
does?
there's 3 bullets to your chest? There's only so... CPR is if somebody's in the lunchroom, they horsing around and they choke on a chicken tender.
You got a tater tot stuck just right there and you need it out.
Right.
That is when you call on CPR. Like,
when everybody you know is pumped full of bullets, now's not the time to be like, oh, but that Red Cross training I have.
I've got it.
These are teenagers and small kids that you are talking about. Expecting them to, first of all, react in a way that most adults would not react. Most adults are not going to have a clear head about the situation, and then to turn around and face somebody with a gun like, but I got this rock though, my nigga. What you gonna do about my stone? What you gonna do about this? What you gonna do about many stones?
This is limestone. From the river.
Limestone?
I don't know.
Wait, no. I don't know a lot about geology, but I know limestones don't come from rivers.
This is garnet. I don't know.
I just want to hear you name different rocks now.
This is sedimentary.
Okay. You know what? And they probably are sedimentary.
That's right.
They probably are. And they're still not a match for bullets. God damn, man. Who is in charge? This is insane. This country is a fucking mess.
And you would think that people who are riding gun dick so hard would know that. Right. Like, what is a pail of river stones supposed to do in the presence of an assault rifle?
Oh,
period.
Not a goddamn
Even if the nigga with the gun was standing across from everybody with the gun, with the rocks, and they just said, go. Like,
what are your rocks gonna do to me? Okay, so a few of y'all actually hit me. And I'm still gonna take, like, these rocks are small enough for kids to hold them in one hand. They're not river boulders. Because who the fuck has the strength for that? Yeah, white people are crazy, man.
I'm so
out of their
like
minds.
it is just the fact that I am laughing so hard. Like I really would expect this to be a storyline in a game or show or movie, but
and it is real.
These
life.
are real people saying these things.
Yes,
I cannot imagine being 11 fucking years old, 10 years old, and feeling like at any moment somebody could come in here and kill me. And the grown-ups who are responsible for making sure that I'm safe have suggested that I use a rock from the river to defend myself.
Let me tell you what. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to die throwing a rock at somebody. I won't do that. Not as a minor sitting in class trying to learn my times tables. It's just absurd. So that's all I have for this week. I just could not believe that somebody who earned his PhD said that out loud. I just cannot deal with that shit.
Oh my goodness.
What is wrong with y'all?
I can't imagine loving anything this much. Anything.
You know how white people feel about their guns.
It's numbing. Like,
and they love to act like it's about the military. Oh, well, if the government does something, I want to be prepared. Sis, do you have any idea what grade of weapons the American military has?
Not the kind at Walmart.
Not the kind you can get at Walmart, girl. Whatever you have pales in comparison to what them niggas have. And if they want to take you out, they're going to do it, and it won't even be hard. Huck will sneak in your house without you knowing, and you'll be dead before you wake up. You just will never even know what happened.
Like, I'm actually kind of interested in all of the guns and weapons that them motherfuckers have compared to what it is that you're clutching to your fucking chest. Right. I can't even believe that's something that anybody is really saying.
Yeah, no, they really say that, like, them and their little stockpile of guns can do anything against the U.S. government. Do you know where you live? Do you understand anything about this country's presence in other countries? Like, do you know?
Of course they don't.
Anything about America? You really don't.
No.
You really do not. Do you know what the vast majority of our government spending goes towards to? Just take a wild guess. Just like a shot in the dark.
Shooting niggas.
Yes! Shooting niggas and making sure trans people can't enroll in the mid. Ugh. This fucking administration. Did you see these new rules of Trump's, this whole trans people he brought it up before and then the courts were like, no. And now he's trying to remix it slightly to be, I don't know what the specifications are exactly.
I didn't hear about it again.
Maybe people who are actively transitioning, something like, I don't know. I just started
exactly willfully going and reading the news again, like maybe a week or so ago.
That's real. That's real. But most headlines that have to do with this administration, I'm just like, oh God, take it away.
Just get it out of my face.
It is just really wretched. And again,
the other day I went to CNN and it was just like literally half the page was just a column and every headline said Stormy Daniels. And I was just like, okay, like, all right.
I mean, because I think we all know Stormy has a DVD out there.
Of course.
And it's just a matter of time before it hits the internet.
Russia's got it too.
When old boy asked her straight out, like, do you have photos or videos that you didn't turn over? And she was like, I've been advised not to answer that question. I was like, oh shit. Well, that is a yes. And the fact that her attorney on TV and on the internet is constantly like, my client's telling the truth. We have proof. We have proof and we're waiting for it and she's telling the truth. And that is the one thing Trump will not angrily tweet about. He'll, say something vague about fake news and send a message through Sarah Sanders' lying ass talking about the president doesn't recall any of that. He knows good and damn well what he did with that girl. He knows good and damn well. And he knows that him and his goons, he called them thugs. I said, oh yes, white thugs. Yes, God, use this word against them. Y'all know good and damn well y'all threatened that lady and her baby behind this Trump bullshit. So I'm just waiting for it all it just has to come soon, Lord. Please, Jesus.
Just please.
But anyway, that is my read for this week. That wraps up this week's episode. Check us out at thisistheread.com and on social at thisistheread. Congratulations again to Asante for his debut solo show, If I Were a Rapper. It was so fun.
It really was fun.
Everybody that I was drunk around.
Oh my gosh, that made it so much more fun.
I don't even remember what I did. I just woke up the next day and there was a hamburger on my couch. And I was like, what happened?
Those are the best next days. Like, not in the moment, but in hindsight.
I was like, what?
I have absolutely woken up with like half a piece of chicken on my chest. It was like, oh, okay.
There was just a burger in a box, in a bag on my couch. And I was like, when did I Where did I order
heard
this?
your
Where did I
burger?
take this? I never ate it. I don't. The Hennessy, man. The Hennessy.
Yes, congratulations to Asante. If you didn't make it to If I Were a Rapper, you actually missed a hell of a lot of fun.
So
I'm very,
fun.
very proud of him, and I can't wait to see the growth of it. It was lots of great
Great
times. Do we have announcements?
We do have announcements. Do you see them? Or?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
So, our Boston show is coming up April 7th. We will be having a pop-up shop with lots of our new merch. On April 7th from 1 to 4. So just before the show, and it is at 171 Newbury Street. It will be hosted by Asante, and there are still tickets available for the show if you don't have them already at thereadlive.com. So make sure that you do both of those things if you're in or around the Boston area and you want to come and hang out and be ghetto with us.
Yes, it's fun. I'm trying to think if I have any other announcements this week, and I do not think that I do. I will be at the Getting Grown show coming up in April, but more details about that later.
Yes, I will too.
Okay, fun. Do you have any other news this week? Do we have an acronym?
I don't have any news or an Well, this is my acronym.
Okay. That's not an acronym. Really? The alphabet is not an acronym.
It isn't, but that was just fun.
Classic Negroness.
Sway, the remix god, whatever his name is. Thank you for all that you do.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. Don't forget to check out our great sponsors over at Acer. You can take your gaming with you with the ultra-thin Predator Helios 300 and its 7th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and NVIDIA tech to give you a tier-free gaming experience unlike any other. Go to Acer.com and click on Store. Enter coupon code TheRead at checkout to receive 10% off plus free ground shipping on a Predator Helios 300 laptop, including the ones that are already discounted, girl. Offer valid through April 30th, 2018. Limited to one per qualified order. Let Intel know we sent you.